What's up guys, Lisa He of Borderlands Bakery here, and today I'm going to talk about the 5 things that I wish I could have done differently when I was first starting my cottage food bakery. Number 1, I talk about this frequently on my social media accounts, but I wish that I could have started my email list and website sooner. That independent web presence or connection with your client, I like to look at it as the same thing. It's basically building contacts for yourself. So you can generate leads through your website, and then as people visit your website, maybe you can embed like your email list in it, collect emails. That way you fully own the contacts that you collect. And it's not dependent on social media platforms that can go away any day. Like, social media platforms are there really to generate money at the end of the day, and you're at the mercy of the algorithm. Whatever, however it changes, right? Unless if you adapt, you're not gonna get the views, blah, blah. It's still great for discovery, but it's not great for communicating consistently with your clients. Now, I waited a couple of years before I started my email list, and it's one of my biggest regrets, actually, because that's the most effective form of marketing and connecting with your clients, is to get directly into their inbox. You can also do a similar thing with text messages. In the marketing world, emails are kind of ruined because it's overused. Text messages are still not as saturated. They are kind of getting there. So I kind of see text and email as the same thing. And when it comes to website, it's really about having your own web presence that's independent and searchable and discoverable outside of social media. Again, this also has to do with social media can go away any day. They don't owe us anything. It's a free thing. But having your own website gives you full control as to how you want to present your work, your content, your products to your clients. There's a lot of free website builder tools out there. You can also pay to get your own custom website done. It's not crazy expensive, but again, it requires some budgeting, so it's not for everybody. If creating your own website sounds overwhelming, check out mycustombakes.com. It's a software tool that my husband and I developed for you guys, the cottage food bakers, just after seeing everybody struggle, including myself, in getting all the organization, the communications, the design requirements of custom orders in hand, and helping me manage my work. So this My Custom Bakes product is something that will help you manage your orders so you can have your own website as well as deal with the communication with your clients and design requirements, quoting, availability, pre-sales. What else can My Custom Bakes do? Manage events. So check us out. It's currently free until the end of 2022 as we build out the features. But yeah, web presence, very important. The other thing that I wish I had done more of or differently is creative local marketing. Social media is great, right? Like being on TikTok and going TikTok viral or Instagram viral, those can really help your business. But if you're a cottage baker, odds are you're mostly selling to your local community. So you have to figure out a way to reach your local clientele. And there's really no other better way to do that than one, word of mouth, and really getting out there and meeting and interacting with your community. So a couple of ideas on what you can do is, one of the things that I used to do that I wish I did more of was sample cookies. So I'd have like extra dough or something, and I would never throw it away. I would always bake and decorate them, heat seal them, freeze them, and then always have some with me if I'm out running errands. I can give people a sample cookie and be like, hey, by the way, I know we just met, but I make cookies. If you ever need anything, here's my information. Give them a cookie. It should have your sticker or label on the back so that they can find you, and the word will spread that way. Printing out physical materials like a flyer or a postcard is really cool because you can bring that stuff to boutiques, for example, that already attract people that are of a similar demographic as those who would purchase super cute custom decorated cakes or cookies. Make friends with the shop owner. You know, you can bring them cookies and introduce yourself. This outreach, physical community outreach, I think is really underrated and not leaned into enough because we all depend on Instagram for a lot of our marketing, but it can be super powerful. And again, word of mouth is the best marketing that you can have. I also advise people, if they live in like a gated community or they have an HOA with a community center, to leave flyers out in their community center or schools. Make sure you always get permission. And if you're leaving flyers at boutiques or small shops, you also open up yourself for future opportunity when it comes to collaborations, connecting with other small businesses, and maybe even potential pop-ups. Growing your following on social media is not always the best way to grow your local clientele for cottage food businesses. We get super caught up with social media numbers. From where I am today, my perspective is that quality is always better than quantity, because if you have a quality group of people who really like your product, they will talk about it organically and the word will spread organically. When you have like a reel or a TikTok that goes viral, people who follow you based on that aren't really there to convert necessarily. They are more likely there for entertainment value than they are for your actual products and services. So keep that in mind as you think about your marketing strategy. The other thing that I wish I had done more of is connect with local bakers who were doing the same or similar things as I was. I think sometimes we can perceive other people doing the same thing as us as competition, but in reality, so many of us do similar things. We're all doing like the similar things, but the way that we do them and the way that we present them is totally unique to the individual. So instead of seeing the people who do similar things as you as competition, view them as peers and colleagues that you can lean into when you hit bumps along your journey. Challenges are going to be inevitable. If you have trouble leaning into a community of like-minded people who completely understand where you're coming from, is something that I wish I had more of when I was doing cottage food in like 2015, 2016. There was a 6-month period where I had quit my day job and I was doing cottage food exclusively 100%. And it's really lonely when you do it by yourself. The other benefit of having a local community of people that do the same thing as you is that now you have a referral list. You have a group of trusted friends that you can refer your clients to in case you get sick or you can't take an order or you don't want to take an order. Maybe it's not your style. We talk about how we are all doing the same things, just slightly differently. Style is a huge thing. My style is not for everybody. Not everyone's gonna like my style, and that's totally okay. Once you build your friends and your network of people that you trust, you can refer out and connect each other with the best kind of clients that match your aesthetic or something like that. One of the other things that I wish I did sooner was price appropriately. Pricing appropriately means taking a look at your time and ingredients minimally, and then also looking at the other costs that might be hidden for a business. So like taxes, the time you spend going back and forth with the client, answering emails, the time you spent doing marketing and social media. All those things are things that we would love to be paid for if you're actually running a business. So sometimes when hobbyists enter an industry, they don't charge very much because they're only looking to cover their ingredients cost. But if they're pricing too low, that actually brings the whole industry down. And it sets expectations in the eyes of our clients that, oh, it'll always be this cheap. So one of the things I tell people is if you're going to be selling, take all of that into consideration and think about the industry as a whole and not just yourself, because these actions of a singular person will have a greater effect and it will really set a precedent for your clients. You should be looking at things like what your market will hold in your geography. You know that even just across the United States, based on where you live, the cost of living varies hugely. So what I may be able to charge for a dozen varies, and it will not be exactly the same as what somebody in Kansas would be able to charge for a dozen, for example. Other things to consider when it comes to pricing is your level of ability or experience. So just like how people who are more experienced in a job get paid a little bit higher, same kind of concept applies for like a craft-based business or a custom baked goods business. Now this next thing I'm going to talk about is a bonus thing. And you know, when I first started cookie decorating back in 2011, there really weren't too many blogs that talked about cookie decorating, and there's really minimal YouTubes. It was really Sweet Ams that kind of dominated that cookie decorating scene at the time, and she was a huge inspiration. Is a huge inspiration of mine. Today, there are tons of resources on the internet, on YouTube, on blogs. Cookies are quite popular right now, as are cakes, as are macarons. So if you want to go spend the time to look at these free resources, digest, do, learn, repeat, more power to you, okay? It can be free, but because it's so popular now, there are also a ton of other cookiers who offer virtual courses as, you know, something that they do for other people who want to learn. We offer virtual courses, bakingwithborderlands.com, but some of my friends in the industry who have a huge variety of skills also offer cookie decorating classes. And I will link them down below, but we've got people like Angela, Renee, and Andy who are absolutely amazing, all with their own unique styles. And they've all got perspectives that we could learn from. So check it out. I encourage you to continuously educate yourself if you want to improve your skills and continue to stay relevant in this very fast-paced world. If you're new here and you're struggling with something, drop your 2 cents below, or if you have any questions, drop them below as well. I will help you out. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you want to see more. I will see you in the next video. Bye.